We're moving on to the sport of baseball, and Phillip Reamy is up next. So he's the third player from the baseball team to go into the Hall of Fame, and the story behind the story is a great one, but I'm going to leave most of that for Dave Thurno to tell you. So what I will tell you is the phenomenal 2 seasons he had for us as a relief pitcher. During his senior year, 15 saves, single season record for Embry-Riddle all time, but his junior year was unbelievable. Gave up, those of you that follow baseball, this will make sense. He gave up 1 run that year, not in 1 game, that year, and he didn't give up a run until the World Series when he had to come on in relief and pitch out of the bullpen for 6 innings. Not what usually a closer does, comes in and pitches 1 inning sometime, but unbelievable season. Also an excellent student. He was an NAIA scholar athlete, academic all-conference, earned his bachelor's degree in air traffic control, and stuck around and helped coach and got a master's degree in aeronautics here from Embry-Riddle. And the quote here is, "The motto of the athletic department is the student, person, player. Phillip nailed all 3. He was not only one of the best players, but also a leader on the team the entire time he was here." And I think this quote came from Randy Stiegel. "I once polled the team and asked them, if you were stuck in Iraq, pinned down by terrorists, who would you want by your side? And every member of the team wrote down Phillip Reamy's name." So he's the guy that you want in your foxhole with you, and he was a phenomenal player during his time here at Embry-Riddle. So let's look at the video, and we'll learn more about Phillip Reamy.
On the mound, Phil had the unique ability to set the tone and instill a confidence like no other in his teammates when he entered the game. He took the ball with no fear and approached each pitch, each hitter, and each inning with a plan to dominate. I wouldn't want anyone else closing out the ninth but him. He has always understood the importance of teamwork and value of goal setting, but more importantly, Phil's a prime example of how success can be obtained through hard work, dedication, and resilience. Phil began his baseball career at Embry-Riddle searching for any way to get onto the team, but he ended his career with a legacy as the most decorated closer in Embry-Riddle baseball history.
His unrelenting drive and will to succeed and his work ethic, coupled with the fact that he's one of the most loyal and trustworthy men, that's what makes Phil Reamy a true Hall of Famer in my book. And there's really no one more deserving than Phil for this accolade. He really is a total package, student, person, player, and now Hall of Famer.
Nothing better than watching Lewis Clark in their faded blue uniforms at their own field sit down after Phillip Reamy issued a strikeout, and he sat a bunch of those LC dudes down that year at the World Series. So here to talk more about Phillip Reamy is our Phillip's pitching coach, our former assistant coach, Dave Thurno.
Well, obviously, first I want to congratulate everybody that's going in. Obviously, selfish for me, aside from Jason, I was here with all of you. So it really means a lot to me to be back here in this place where I got my start. And I think you guys understand what a special place it is. When I thought about what I would say when I got up here, and John Mark told me I had 3 minutes, I'm like, how am I supposed to talk about this guy for 3 minutes? I think you need to know his story. So Phillip came here the fall of 2006 as a general student after being cut from his high school team. So I would venture to say most of us in this room that are athletes or former athletes, we got to play. And he had hopes and dreams of going on to play college baseball. Well, he comes here, he tries out under the previous coaches, and he gets cut again. So, I mean, that would be tough for any of us to handle. So then you fast forward a year. Phillip goes without playing baseball for a year. And in comes myself and the Steagles. And it's kind of a funny story, but I wasn't here yet. I was still moving down from Omaha, Nebraska, and whenever we had our tryouts. But I was in constant communication with Randy as to, you know, I had already accepted the position and looking forward to coming down here. Couldn't wait to get here, but I had to make the move. So I was in constant communication with Randy about, you know, how tryouts went, you know, what's the team like? I was anxious. So just to give you an idea, no offense, Phillip, we kept everybody that tried out that year. We kept a 5'5" catcher that couldn't throw the ball to second base, and we kept a cheerleader. That's a true story. We took somebody off the cheerleading team. So as I'm making the move, I'm talking to Randy constantly. He told me about this skinny kid, Phillip Reamy. He said he was bouncing around. He's all over the field. I was like, that's my kind of guy. He said, but he's not very good. And just to give you an idea for some of you that Phillip was a wiry, and he ain't much bigger now, but he was a wiry 81, 82 mile an hour righty. So for some of you that aren't baseball people, to give you an idea, Coach Ritter used to tell me every day he could throw that. So it ain't a good curveball, right, Coach? This way? Yep. So that's what we had in Phillip Reamy, or that's what we thought we had. Nobody could have predicted what he became, but I'm sure he had a vision. And it was obviously an honor to be part of that journey. We kept him fall of 2007, as we kept everybody. As we move into the spring, little known fact, and you guys saw a picture up there, the first game in our spring season, 2008, Phillip started at first base. He tried out as a first baseman, third baseman, catcher, and pitcher, begging for a uniform, begging for a chance. So he started our first game at first base, went 0 for 3, right, Phillip? And he dropped a double play ball that they called in a transfer, and they called the guy out, but you dropped that ball. Anyway, so shortly thereafter, I sat Phillip down, and I said, put your catching gear, put everything away, you're going to become a pitcher. Just because I liked his mentality on the mound. I had no idea what he would become. So then we go into the fall of 2009. Phillip's a full-time pitcher. Guy worked his tail off. We go in the spring of 2009. Phillip has an 8 ERA. He's probably second-guessing himself. I can honestly say I never did. But he has a rough year. I remember going down to the bullpen one session with him. And for those of you that played with Phillip, and you know he used to wear those Oakley prescription glasses, whatever you call them. I never knew why. I guess he was blind. I don't know. Couldn't see the signs. Hell, I don't know. I don't know what the issue was. But I go down, we go to work in the bullpen, and I'll never forget it. And I walk up and I said, Phillip, where are your glasses? He says that he had his contacts in that day, and he wasn't going to wear them, whatever. I said, my message to him was, you had those glasses when you were hoping for an opportunity and a uniform. So go get your glasses, put them on. So he still, for the next 2 years, he would wear those glasses at night, right, Phillip? and not during the day, but still, he put those glasses back on. He didn't wear contacts anymore. And I think it helped with flipping that mentality of I don't belong, but and in fact, he really did belong. So then you go into that summer, I think, really built his confidence. You go into his junior year, 2010, what you saw in the video. The guy was lights out. He was automatic. We put him in. We rode him hard. We put him in there 2 outs. In the 7th, it didn't matter. You're going in. We want to win games. So we rode him pretty hard. And a little story about that one run he gave up, that sent Lewis and Clark home. They were 48-4, Randy? They're 48-4 in that game. We had pitched one of our better pitchers. We were facing elimination at the World Series on their field. They're number 1 in the country. So we start a left-hander out of Florida State, Ryan Vigu. He was scared to death. So we're facing elimination. We're about to go home, about to get on a plane. So in usual Stiegel format, here he comes, running out of the dugout. Give me the next guy. We go to Austin Quinn. No fault of his own. He competed his tail off. He was tired. He came back on short rest. So we rode him as long as we could. We were down 7-1, I believe it was. We have to go get our best guy. To sum up what Phillip was, he comes in and he throws 90 pitches the rest of that game, 80 fastballs. Says, I'm coming to get you. And that was the best part about him. Competitive like no other. And obviously it's a tremendous honor for me to have coached you. And I think we're pretty lucky we got you, man. And nobody would have predicted what you became. So it's my honor. Phillip, come up here. Welcome to the hall, buddy.
Thanks, Coach. Oh, man. First, I want to thank the university for hosting this event. I've been to one of these before, and it's always a class event. Everyone from the university, the athletic department, everything is always top notch. Everybody here already knows that, but I wanted to mention that. Congratulations to all the other inductees. It's a tremendous honor, and like Abby and Alina said, it's great that I was here for most of you except for Jason. So it's really fun to see people I was around getting inducted. So you heard my unconventional story, how I got here, and obviously I couldn't have done it without the support, and it sounds cliche, and I'm going to have a bunch of cliches in this speech, but I couldn't have done it without the support of my friends and family, coaches, everyone. So I'll go down the list. First, I want to start with Coach Ritter. I don't know where to start with you. Anybody who doesn't know the program or is from, not from around here, he built this program. I don't care what anybody else says. He built this entire thing. Everything you see over across the street, he built it with his bare hands. His hair was a little darker back then, but yeah. I always enjoyed listening to you make speeches like this in front of crowds like this. You always did, as you would say, get fired up. So I always enjoyed that, so thank you. On to the Stiegels, Coach Randy, Chuck. Randy, you were the ultimate motivator. It's unbelievable the way that you're able to motivate your players. My first lesson that I learned from Randy was there's 2 things that motivate a college athlete: scholarship money and running. I was a walk-on with no scholarship, so you knew what motivated me. So that's the number one thing the first thing that I got from Randy and Chuck. Let's see. So where was I going to go with that? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so Coach had a way about him where he knew how to get under your skin. He knew what player he could get under their skin. And so, equal amounts of the times that he's telling me he's going to rip the jersey off my back, he's there praising me and congratulating me for my successes. And so, with that, you by far were the most motivating person I've ever met. So, on to Coach Thurno. Coach T, this isn't the first time I've seen you cry up and well up, and big baby. No, Coach Thurno, unbelievable passion for the game, knowledge for the game. You won't meet a single person in your life that knows baseball better than Coach Thurno. And the way that you teach it to your players is unbelievable. Coming here early, leaving late every day from practice, working with hitters, pitchers, it didn't matter. Anybody who wanted extra work, they could always go to Coach Thurno, and they knew that he was going to be there. I don't know why you took me under your wing when, obviously there were more people, around there with better ability. You saw something in me and decided to take me under your wing, and I, am in complete debt to you for that. But I want the record to show that I've never had an error playing for Embry-Riddle. So even that double play ball that you said that I dropped, it was not an error in the record books. You can check with Mosier back there. He'll tell you the same thing. So, on to Coach Ron Brooks, gentleman over here with the mustache, looking good. His son Kevin and him were my coaches throughout high school, and when, as you heard, I got cut from my high school team my junior and senior year, and he was there. Him and his son were there to take all the misfits that got cut from their high school teams, and we won, so many championships. And I appreciate you guys coming down from Virginia and your impact in the Northern Virginia, on baseball in the Northern Virginia area is, unbelievable. You can't be overstated. So I really want to thank you for coming down. On to my family. Everybody says that they have the best parents and all that, and I'm no different. My parents have been there since day one, there for me, literally and figuratively. I can't remember growing up going to games and them not being there. My dad, I took it for granted. I didn't know. I was, 12-year-old kid. All I wanted to do was just, go to the game and play. And my parents were always there for me. Dad, you're traveling all over the world for work, but you always made it seem like that you could make it to every game. Even when I was 12 hours away, you'd make that drive down here for just a weekend series, and then drive back for work again on Monday. So you guys were always there for me. My brother Scott, he's here, 4 years older than me, also cut from the same high school coach. So. You obviously 4 years older than me, you had, a leg up every time we were competing at something. And, I was, always behind you. So I was always trying to, be as competitive as I could to catch back up with you. So it was always you spawned my competitive, spirit throughout my, athletic career. So the next person I want to thank, not person, my teammates, all my teammates. I'm glad that so many of them could come here tonight. I've learned a lesson from every teammate I've ever played with, good or bad. Those guys, I'll remember everything that I've ever done with those guys, on and off the field. They were always there supporting me. I tried to support them as best as I could. And like I said, it sounds cliche, but that's what it's all about here at Embry-Riddle. Whether or not it's your teammates or teammates within the athletic department, anybody's willing to do something for you, and it's just a great experience to be a part of. Last person I want to thank is Coach Greg Williams for cutting me in 2007, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to play for Randy for 4 years. I probably wouldn't be standing here if it weren't, for that instance. So I don't hold anything against him. So if you think this is, a spite against him, it's not at all. But it's been, I wouldn't change a single thing in my career. So last thing, I know what it's like to be here. Like I said, I've sat through one of these before, and I know what it's like to be a curtain player. So I want all the current athletes to go ahead and stand up. The current athletes that are here at Ritter. Yeah. So thanks for coming out tonight. You guys can sit down. Thanks for coming out tonight. I know you probably didn't have a choice, and there's a lot of other places you'd rather be on a Friday night, rather than listen to 6 has-beens talk about their time here at Ritter. But I just want to give you something to take away. I had an opportunity to talk to the baseball team yesterday after practice, and just told them a lot of things just from my experience. And it sounds like a broken record. Everybody's going to tell you the same thing. You're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. Once you're in the real world, you're going to miss it. And it's so true. And Coach Stiegel always said, and he said it yesterday too, when I was talking with the team, is you get out of this game what you put into it. And it's such a profound, simple statement that that can be related to anything, sports-wise, into business, family, anything. And it's something that I think about pretty much every day. Whether I'm doing sitting at my desk job, trying to work a spreadsheet. You get out of it what you put into it. So if you work hard at it, you're going to get something out of it. And on the baseball field, it's the same way. So that's just something that I try to live by, and that's something that I kind of want to give to all the players that are here. That you still have time to change any way that you want, to not regret anything that you went through in your career, and always remember that you get out what you put into it. And so with that, that's really all I have. Once again, I want to thank everybody for putting everything on. JP, thanks for setting everything up. This is unbelievable. I know the athletic program is in great hands with you now that Coach Ritter has moved on to just coaching. And I couldn't be happier to see where the program ends up and where we go from here. So with that, I want to say thank you and have a good night, everyone.